They've been jet setting all week. I looked at them friends things going to Miami. Then he's in Miami, meeting with movers and shakers in the music world, getting beautiful photo shoots set up. And then he's back on the stage in Tampa Pride. And I said, no, he's in Miami. No, he's not. He's already back. And then he's here. He's everywhere. See all that sitting up there beside me, you don't even know it, you know? And that's because this community comes together in sacred service. We're all here to humbly serve. So you don't know all those accolades and all those wonderful things about all the people around you, but let me tell you, each and every person in here is someone to be celebrated. I got a bracelet. Willow came up to me and said, Reverend Kim, let me give you a friendship bracelet.
No.
Yes. So there's my black bracelet.
Yes. Yes.
I love her youth. Yes. This is your world. You're the creator. Find freedom on this canvas. Believe that you can do it, because you can do it. You can do it. And that is a quote from Bob Ross. Do you remember him? Bob Ross? When we were young, we got 4 channels. The 3 networks and PBS. Mr. Rock taught us all the beauty of creating art on PBS as we were growing up. How paint put on a canvas directed by our will begins to become something more than just the paint, something more than just a canvas. Remember him? He had that soothing, calm voice. I'm grateful for his teachings. And he would take a knife, not even a brush, and he would do a line of brown right down here, and then he would start picking up a brush and dabbing green and dabbing, and before you know it, it was a tree with mountains behind it. And you're like, how did that even happen? Because you're listening to that soothing voice. You know, you're listening to his soothing voice, telling you all about it while it's creating, and he's creating. Oh. So it's your world. You create. Today I want you to find it. In unity, we recognize and honor 12 spiritual powers. I'm honoring those 12 unity teachings of the 12 powers by selecting a power each month and doing it on the final Sunday. Today I want to talk to you about will. Willpower, goodwill, God's will. Just what is will? When you say will, what is will? Willpower alone is not enough to get us through to create our world. If thy will or my will be done, then what will be done by me? What did you feel in that blank of the Psalms? What is thy will? Thy will. When we're talking about thy will be done. Or is it my will be done? Just what is your will? You're the creator of your world. It's what you will it to be. So what is it? Is it good? Do you live in love every moment? Do you live in love every moment of your life? Yes? Wonderful. No? Why not? It's you. You're creating it. It's your will. You're the creator of your love. Find it. Unity defines will as the ability to choose, lead, and decide. Choose. That's always a thing of being it. It's your choice, always. Think about that. We have a will. We have free will to think what we want, to do what we want, to do what we think or know to be right. We have the will to do that. I want you to affirm with me, I move forward with confidence as I consciously choose and create my world. So I move forward with confidence as I consciously choose and create my world. Just like that canvas. Bob Ross created a world for us in a matter of moments, speaking to us calmly the whole time. And we may have willpower to get up and go when we really don't feel like it, or to help push us through a challenge. That's when most people talk about willpower. I have the willpower to do it, or to overcome adversity. I'm sure Lieutenant Colonel Carroll had a lot of that in her career, being the only woman in the room, and then being the leadership position in the room as the only woman in the room. A lot of willpower. To choose, to create the environment to take care of her soldiers. Then there's goodwill, God's will. What do we believe to be the best and highest thing to do? What would God have us do and lead us to do? Maybe it's God's will that brings us those opportunities. Maybe it's God's will that brings us those infinite possibilities and endless opportunities. The more we are in balance with, the more we are aligned with Source, the more we are allowing those natural laws to work in our life. Those natural laws we talked about during the Great Invocation. As we allow ourselves to be aligned with Source, we allow those natural laws. And as we allow those natural laws to work in our life, the less we find ourselves depending on a conscious assertion of will or a conscious assertion of willpower. The more we are aligned with our soul's purpose, the more we are aware that willpower is not something we must reach deeply for, not something we must work hard to attain or drive ourselves, train ourselves to have. It will just come and flow naturally. It becomes a force that arises with such enthusiasm from the depths of our being that we become unstoppable and infinitely abundant in all things. Joy, prosperity, love, abundant in all things. And then every day we get to wake up and we face the day like Charles Fillmore did the day he said, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm, and I spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me.
Yeah.
Anybody. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm to spring forth, to do all those things that ought to be done by me today. Today. I have that opportunity every single day. And how do we develop that kind of will? That willpower that's strong and yet also simply flows from us as goodwill, with little effort and seemingly no effort at all. We practice. We practice. Most things in life are called a practice because we have to put in the work. We have to do the work. Then we reach a place where without conscious thought or effort, we're where we want to be. It's like when you start out with yoga. or meditation. I know you've all given it a go. You've all given it a try. You just stick with it though. You just stick with the practice of it. When we first begin that journey, it's a bit of a struggle to get into that pose. But then we put in more practice and we begin to flex. And the more we do it, the easier it becomes. And then it becomes second nature. And we can whip our legs and arms into those poses without thought. And meditation. At first it's work. It's work to let go of our monkey mind and find the silence. As we practice though, as we practice meditation, it comes with ease and grace to slip into that meditative state. We can snap our finger and slide right in. As we practice, we develop our will and our willingness to create our world as we will it so. One of my coaches always told me, how you practice is how you're going to perform. No goofing around at practice, because how you practice is how you're going to show up when it counts. How you practice. You can't slough off in practice and expect to win the race on race day. You got to practice. In studying the 12 spiritual powers, Unity suggests the book Your God-Given Potential by Winifred Wilkinson Hausner. She's a Unity minister who wrote a book that was more practical, more comprehensive, a little easier to read than Charles Gilmore. So she took the 12 spiritual powers and wrote the book that's a little more easier to get through. Because if I don't know if any of y'all read Charles Gilmore, it's not a light and easy read. You gotta reread it. And then you gotta reread it. So I've got an excerpt here from Your God-Given Potential by Winifred on the power of will. She said, it is our job in developing our God-given potentialities to re-educate the will, the directing power of our mind, to teach it, to become receptive to spiritual motivation, rather than to goals determined by materialistic pursuits alone. One way or another, we are using our will, our executive mind power, all the time. We choose a course of action. We reset or resent. We submit or fight back. We aim high or we slide backward. Are we willing to consecrate and dedicate our will to God and to let it be re-educated and be in alignment with Source? So we practice. We aim high. We be all we can be. Those commercials are so good. Military recruiting is expert at recruitment. Aim high in the Air Force. Be all you can be in the Army. The Marines, the few and the proud. The Navy, see the world. You know, great recruitment. Great words. They're professionals at it all. We aim high. We create goals and we make commitments to them. Like finding our purpose. We find our purpose through a spark of divine inspiration, focusing our intention and focusing our attention, while allowing our purpose to radiate from us effortlessly. We are all uniquely created for a particular purpose. I believe that so firmly. Each and every one of us are created for a particular purpose. It might take a minute to realize it, and it might take half a lifetime, and it actually might take most of a lifetime to find it, to recognize it, to feel it, and to realize your purpose. And sometimes we have more than one purpose throughout our life. We have a purpose, and then it shifts, and we have a new purpose. My purpose right here and right now is to be right here, serving this community in love and loving every moment. I do. Every day, Spirit shows me that I am doing exactly what is mine to do. Every day. Everything I've ever done brings me to this place, right here and right now. Is that my will? Or is it God's will? I found my world, and it is good. When we align with Source, our purpose will find us. We will find our purpose, and it will always be good. I know I've shared with you before, when I was young, my purpose found me. It was an ordinary day in a gym class, that ordinary day that sparked an extraordinary passion to be a hunter. Instantly. I loved it. It didn't have to grow on me. It didn't have to be something I thought about. I loved it the moment I did it. Instantly, I knew it was my destiny. It was my purpose to be one of the best hijackers in the world. I knew it. I knew it. Was that my will? Was it divine inspiration? Was it God's will? In Ephesians, we're told, we are God's masterpiece. At that point in my life, I was 13. I had no idea what it would be like to be God's masterpiece. Absolutely, I know without a doubt that my talent was God-given. For it was natural. I didn't have to learn it. Nobody had to teach me. I taught all of my coaches how to coach me. They never had a hijacker. Nobody taught me. I didn't watch videos and read books. I just did it. It was natural. It was innate within me. I'd never been exposed to organized sports or athletics in any way. I was a farm girl from the Appalachian Mountains. I've never even seen a track meet. I didn't know what it was. And when my gym teacher said, hey, I coach a track team. Can you stay tomorrow for the track meet? It's the district championships, and I'd love for you to come to it. I said, well, you asked my mom, and she said, yes, I love to. I love to. And I didn't have a uniform because uniforms had all been given out because it was at the end of the season. So I wore my gym suit. You may all know that. And my school was red and white wear colors, so it was a one piece, and it had the red bottom and the red and white striped top, and it was on the red. That's what I was in. I was in the fancy track meet. I was in my gym suit. But man, I love that meet. Yes, I did, because my mama said yes. My mama said, well, if she wants to do it, she can do it. And I know I've told you all that story before, so I'm just going to refer to it now. I'm not going to tell you all the details. But God did not make a mistake. That tall, skinny little country girl was created perfectly for that purpose. Well, that did describe me in my younger days. I was skinny. I have grown up and been out since those days. I know y'all forgive me. And I'm working on that with my perfect trainer. Yes, I'm working on it. Better to flow in alignment with perfect health. That's my goal now. To allow myself to flow in perfect health. It's up to me to create my world. It's up to me not to eat everything else. All my choice. All my choice. Let it be healthy. Let it be happy. Let it be joyous. And let it be vibrant. I want you to be. I hope you will be who God created you to be. You're an original, a unique, an individual creation. Child of God, perfect, with will and purpose. Let your gift shine. The world doesn't need a copy or a replica. Be the authentic, original you were created to be. Yes. God called me to be, doing exactly what God called me to do. Is that a product of my willpower? Or is it divine appointment? Or a divine anointing? The Hebrew people, in their faith, know and affirm that one of the traits of the Almighty is that God need only will something for it to become reality. God willed that the world would be created, and it was so. Some believe that we humans fall short of that ability. Yet in the Jewish faith, they're so strong in knowing that people can and do create their own reality. In New Thought, we believe exactly the same. In reality, we are more alike than we are different. We are more alike than we are different. That's why the person sitting next to you here in this community may not believe exactly the way you believe, but we all come together in harmony and alignment with Source. And we are more alike than we are different. For Jesus was a great way shower in overcoming the human selfish motivation of the will and allowing it to be replaced by great unification with the divine will, producing good for all. It's your word. Find it. Create it. The rewards of unifying our will with the will of God are great. Those rewards include health and happiness, joy and peace, harmony and prosperity, and all other good that we are just beginning to even imagine or visualize. Learning to activate the divine will in your life does not mean that you simply submit to the human will of others. It means you will rise higher. You will go higher to God's will, to that good will. It's not hidden in the stars, as they sang in the song. Bring yourself to that higher love, that higher will, and find your purpose and create your world. There is no grace on your life but to do what is yours to do, to fulfill your purpose. Go out and fulfill your purpose. Don't be a cheap imitation or knockoff of someone else. Be an original. In your own uniqueness, be an original, fully into the power that is you. You can be the best you in the world. No one else can be better at being you than you. Be you. Be who you are, truly you. There is a favor and a blessing on your life when you step out and be you. Take it, receive it. Know that blessing is yours and that God's favor is upon you. When I was an athlete, I knew I was favored. I wasn't conceited, but I knew I was favored. I didn't walk out onto the track just knowing I can't be me. I'm not. But I knew I was favored. I knew if I showed up and did the best I could do, did my best, nobody could beat me. I knew that. And no one told me that. No one had to tell me that. It was a knowing in my soul. When I followed my intuition, my still small voice within, I was following my God voice, God's purpose for me, God's will, good will. So be focused in your intention. Find your world, create your world with intention and attention, and be an intentional warrior. Hashtag intentional warrior. Don't get distracted trying to be someone else or what you think someone else expects. As your spiritual leader, I walk my talk. I'm true to my gifts and my talents. I can't get up here and sing like Tamai and Leslie, Marla, and Ophelia, and Dee. I can't get up there and sing that. I can't bring a message and dance across the stage like Dr. Michael Beckwith does. Woo! That's not me. But you know what? It was a sure an honor to share that platform with him at Carnegie Hall a few years ago and be in that energy he radiates. And I tell you what, I was so nervous. It's my first time on that big stage in New York City. Well, not quite though, because I have a story. When I was a young athlete and I was, how old was I, maybe 18? And I qualified for the Milrose Games. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but it's a big track and field meet in Madison Square Gardens. And in Madison Square Gardens there, back then in the 70s, they had the big electronic thing that went around the whole thing. It was indoor track meet, and we were down there. And so they had that up there. And all of a sudden, I'm down there stretching out, and I looked up, and I went, what? Because it said Kim Harrell, East Tennessee State University, all around the building. I'm like, what? So I have been on that big stage, and but not on that big stage speaking. And I was a little nervous because they didn't let you have any notes. And Madison, at Carnegie Hall, you just have to stand and deliver it. And I was like, okay, no notes, no nothing. I just got to walk out here with Myron and Kimberley, Earth, Wind and Fire, all behind me doing music, and Michelle Pastel and all them. And I'm like, whew, okay, well, here I go. And I look down, and there's Michael Beckwith sitting in second row back, out there like where Colleen is. And I'm looking out for the crowd, and he goes, what is such a generous spirit. He was there to support me, even though he and Deepak were the most famous of the people speaking that day. He was giving me a thumbs up right there in front of his chest and his heart to let me know that I had it. And he was there for me. What a great experience that was. A true divine gift it was. And I know I can use my gifts. I can smile. I can connect. I can encourage. I can teach. I can inspire you to radiate that God source from inside you. That's my gift. Know yourself to be. That's my gift. When you fully embrace who you are, doing what it is for you to do, finding your work, living your purpose, you celebrate yourself, you celebrate others, you flow through life easily with hardly any effort at all. There's hardly any willpower needed. Then you have attained that goodwill place in your practice. You found your purpose, and you are unselfish in that purpose, and you have an abundant disposition towards others and the good of all life. You freely express compassion, generosity, and forgiveness. I see it every day among the people in this community. You freely express that compassion, that generosity, and forgiveness. You have a larger purpose. You become a harmonizing energy and a balancing force. That's what we are as a community, a harmonizing energy and a balancing force. Because you let divine love and understanding pour forth from you. When you find yourself confronted by a strong will that insists you go its way, I want you to turn within to that Christ consciousness that is within you, that God self within you, that source within you, that is the spiritual core of your nature, and silently say to that other person, the Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Let the love of God and understanding of the spiritual nature of that other person pour forth from you so strongly that there is no conflict of human wills, no clash of personalities, no power struggle for control. Rather, there is a higher power at work. Establish harmony and order, establish balance and alignment. Goodwill is our first attempt to express the love of God, to radiate source energy and love like the opening of a 10,000-petal flower. When you can do that, you have reached that goodwill place in your practice. And you're saying, I hear you, Reverend Kimberley, but you just don't understand. My life isn't easy. I have trials. I have challenges. Let me let you in on a little secret. We all face obstacles. We all face challenges and roadblocks along your journey. And that's not what defines us. What defines us is how we navigate those obstacles, how we respond, how we use what we have and where we are to create our world in compassion, love, and peace. Successful people are so focused on their goal that they don't concern themselves with what others are doing. They're so busy creating their world, finding their world, that they don't need to get into your business. You don't need to get in their business, they don't need to get in your business. Just help them. Don't compete with others. Let them do them, and you do you.
Amen.
Don't be jealous. Don't be intimidated. Be inspired. I think that's one of the things I loved about. I was a swimmer, and then I was a track athlete. And in both of those sports, it's not like a team sport with a ball where, man, I'm going to pass my ball off to you, and then you're going to shoot it. Or, man, I just dove and dug up that volleyball, and then you hit it right in the net. Yeah. I mean, no. I did those individual sports where it's up to me to do what I do, and them to do what they do. But then it all comes together as a team effort, because what I do helps the rest of the team, and what they do helps the rest of the team. But I'm there to do what I do in my own lane, in my own high jump pit. I'm over here and my competition's over there. And yes, we are competing, but no, we're not. We are each doing what is ours to do, showing up. So don't be intimidated. Be inspired. Successful people like to align with and be around other successful people. You're going to find that all in your life. Successful people like to be around other successful people. That's one piece of business advice I can give you that will always be true. Successful people like to do business with successful people. Celebrate another. Celebrate where they are. Just like Michael Beckwith. Celebrate that person's success. He was sitting there, one of the greatest spiritual leaders in the world. And yet, he was present with me in that moment and encouraged me, inspired me to be better, to know that I could do it. Be that. Be that. I can say be anything. Be that. Celebrate everyone else. Celebrate where they are. Celebrate that person that thinks they're competing with you. Celebrate them. You're going to catch them off guard. They think they're competing with you. You celebrate them. You're going to catch them off guard. And you'll find yourself being blessed. God's favor is not limited. There's not a limited amount of God to go around. God is omnipotent. God is limitless. Our divine creator can favor me, can favor you, can favor each and every one of us without any one of us being diminished. It doesn't diminish me that you are a success. It doesn't diminish you that I'm a success. We can all be successes together.
Yes.
8 billion D.
That's the beauty of source energy. God's energy and God's love. It's infinite, and there is no lack. There is no lack. We each have an endless supply, and it does not diminish your bucket because my bucket is full, And my bucket is not lessened because your bucket is full. Let's all go around with full buckets.
Yeah.
Don't miss your destiny because you're concerned about what someone else is doing. Don't start competing with someone who may not even realize you're competing with them. If you're trying to be something you're not, trying to live a purpose that is not yours, life becomes a struggle. You face challenge after challenge because you're not doing you. And you think you have to have a lot of willpower, because it takes a lot of willpower when you're going against the flow. If you accept that you don't have to compare, you don't have to compete, and realize, I'm not him, I'm me. And God gives us all different gifts. He gives us exactly the right and perfect gift we need to live our purpose and be our own success. You find yourself at the highest expression of will when you're living clear intention in harmony, balance, and alignment with Source, fulfilling your divine plan. I'm blessed to have the gifts I have and blessed to be the best me I can be. No willpower is required when you're living your purpose, living your joy. In closing my lesson, do you know who you are? If you're asking those questions, who am I? Connect to God, connect to Source, connect to that still small voice inside. Radiate out that divine love, and you'll find who you are. With the service, being of service. So live your purpose. Be strong. Embrace your destiny. Proudly say, I am what I am. You know, the beautiful mom sings that song, and I love it. I love to hear her sing that. I am what I am. I don't want praise. I don't want pity. I bang on drum. Some think it's noise, and some think it's pretty. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses.
Yeah.
Don't discount your gifts. There's a divinely unique gift that is yours and yours alone. Something might stand in your way as an obstacle, a challenge, or a test. It's there to remind you to step boldly up to the plate. Step up and say, it's my time. Celebrate you, and also celebrate your friend's success. Step up and say, now I am living my purpose with my talents, my gifts, divinely inspired. I'm living in that good will, God's will. Your God says there is greatness in you. Believe it. Know it. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. Step forward. It's your world. Find it. Know that you are in God's favor and God's will be done. And so it is. So Reverend Maria and Reverend Ron, they go to the opera today. So if y'all wonder, where Reverend Maria and Reverend Ron are there at the opera. Hello, I'm sure they're watching this on live stream. We miss ya, we love ya. We want you to go out there, step out, be you today.